1966. I was 15, going on 16 at the end of the year, and most of these albums I heard at the time, but a few I'll show at the end that I got in retrospect, like years later. So first of all, I walked 5 miles to get this the day it came out, Aftermath by the Rolling Stones, and this has got painted black on it, which the English version doesn't. And it's got Going Home, which isn't that great, but you can avoid that. So, Aftermath by the Rolling Stones. This is the North American version of Revolver. It's the only one I really need, but I do have the English one on CD. A battered copy of Freak Out. I can still listen to this album. And, I mean, Hungry Freaks Daddy and Wowie Zowie. I can still get a laugh. And I can still listen to the whole album, all 2 sides, or 4 sides, sorry, 2 albums. Jefferson Airplane takes off. Always a big fan, although this one is like no Gray Slick on this album, but it's sort of an introduction to the band, and it takes them the next album to really get going. Fifth Dimension, probably listened to this one the most, by the Byrds. I was a big Byrds fan right from the beginning. I can't even say it, I'm so wound up about it. Love this album. 8 Miles High is on that album. And we're going to switch over to CDs because I got rid of most of my albums. Hums of the Loving Spoonful. I just love their carefree attitude, all the music. And Buffalo Springfield's first album. I got this when it came out, and it was like, wow, this is different. And I really caught on to this and became a real huge Neil Young fan. Love Da Capo, or Da Capo, and this has 7 and 7 Is, one of the greatest rock songs ever and worth the price of admission. Fresh Cream, you know, they're just sort of getting their groove there, but Disraeli Gears, their next album, would really take it to the stratosphere. I mean, Blonde on Blonde, one of the first albums I got from the Columbia Record Club, and I mean, three great sides. The Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands is a great song, but I can really avoid that after hearing it a few times, 11 minutes. But the rest, all classic. Mike Bloomfield, my favorite guitar player of all time. And there's a little bit of experimenting going on in the title song, East West. And got to have anything by Mike Bloomfield, especially in the 60s. And a little bit of folk. Always been into folk and folk rock, and this got Homeward Bound on it, and For Emily, Wherever She May Be, I think it's called, for Whenever I May Find Her. I mean, I like this album. I mean, it's 3/4 good. And these are bands, I never got into the Beach Boys when they were out. I mean, I like their singles, but I never got into an album. And I did buy this a couple of years ago because, I mean, it's got God Only Knows on it, Sloop John B. I mean, it is a good album. I mean, there's no denying that. And the 13th Floor Elevators, the Psychedelic Sounds of. Never got this album when it came out. I sort of avoided it. Just never came across it the right time. And it's okay. I mean, that blowing thing and the jug thing gets a little tiresome after a while, but if they got rid of that, it would be a great album. Anyways, 1966, what more can you say? That's pretty well everything I got other than best ofs and stuff, but